Hello. Yes. We welcome you back to PSSB, Physical Sciences. Silver Bullet and Smith Richard here. Okay. Yes, today we are looking at this question. It says that briefly explain each of the following. 1. Positively charged object attracts a neutral or uncharged insulator. Yes, what happens there? Okay, let us try to give an explanation, then we'll give the answers later. So if you have a positive object and it is near another object which is neutral, so what happens is that inside this object, there are molecules. And what do you call it? I'm giving an example of X and Y. You have to know that every time you have a molecule, what you call a bond is a pair of electrons. Our thinking is that this pair of electrons is in the middle, but that's not the case. There are so many times when situations like this arise, where the shared electrons is closer to another atom than the other. When this happens, something must be known, that the atom which attracts electrons towards each other, like in this case Y, we call it electronegative. It wants negative. So it becomes partially negative. And this atom which lost electron to the other one, it becomes partially positive. We normally write it as partial positive and partial negative. So now when the molecule has two sides, one positive and the other negative, we say that molecule is polarized. Okay, so that's what happens here. What happens is that our insulator becomes polarized. There's a tendency for electrons to move closer to this side. And when electrons withdraw towards this side, the other end becomes positive. So you see that this object is polarized. And what do you notice? If this is positive, negatives are closer. And what happens when negative and positive are closer together? They attract. That's the explanation. Yeah, so comes this question. Actually, it's the opposite of the other one. It says that negatively charged object attracts a neutral or uncharged insulator. What's the answer? The answer is that the negatively charged object causes polarization in the insulator. What happens is that electrons are repelled away from the insulator. So when electrons are repelled away, then the part next to the insulator becomes positive. And when a positive is near negative, attraction occurs. So that is that. The positively charged object causes polarization in the insulator, repelling electrons to the far end, making the part near the negatively charged body positive, leading to attraction. Yeah, so this is the demonstration of what happens. And what happens after that is that because this is positive and negative, and they are next to each other, they tend to draw towards each other, which we call attraction. And with that, I would like to thank you for your time. The channel is PSSB. And it's me, Richard. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share. We are simply the best. See you then. Bye bye.